For today's headlines, Cayetano makes Duterte a lame duck president. Amid squabble, Duterte wants speedy budget passage. Phivolcs keeps eye on 4 volcanoes. Sell SSS houses and not Japan properties, says Locsin. Tugade wants beep cards for free. Man walks home from Manila to Samar. Bela blooms as K skincare brand girlboss. Southwest monsoon, throw of LPA to bring rains. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Friday, October 2, and now the news. This squabble brought about by Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano's refusal to honor the 1521 term sharing pact for the speakership with Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco has projected President Duterte as having lost his clout over the lawmakers. A senior lawmaker expressed sadness that Cayetano's stand against honoring his word to relinquish the speakership has undermined Duterte. Earlier, Cayetano offered to resign the speakership after a lengthy speech, but his allies voted to reject his resignation. Velasco is supposed to lead the House for 21 months, as reiterated to them by the President when he met the two leaders at the palace on Tuesday night. Cayetano, however, turned his back on the latest agreement anew, with his resignation called by some lawmakers as sham. Shortly after Cayetano left the plenary, he rushed to Malacanang in what sources describe as a last-ditch effort to save his seat. Meantime, President Rodrigo Duterte has instructed Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano to ensure the timely passage of the proposed 4.5 trillion peso national budget for 2021, despite the ongoing leadership tussle in the chamber, Malacanang said on Thursday. Duterte spokesperson Harry Roque said the president had met with the House leader along with his wife Taguig Representative Lani Cayetano and his sister Pia Cayetano Wednesday night at the palace. They were joined by Deputy House Speaker Eddie Villanueva and Senator Christopher Bongo. The meeting came hours after Cayetano offered to step down as Speaker of the House of Representatives, a move rejected by lawmakers who voted 184-1 with 9 abstentions. Roque said Cayetano's instruction was to pass the budget as soon as possible because it contains the budget for COVID-19 response, adding a reenacted budget will have no allocation for various mitigation measures. Roque said he thinks the House leadership squabble is over and that the opposing parties have settled the issue because it is important to pass the pandemic budget on time. State volcanologists are now closely monitoring 4 active volcanoes in the country following the abnormal conditions they have exhibited the past several days. The Philippine Institute for Volcanology and Seismology identified the volcanoes as Taal in Batangas, Mayon in Albay, Bulusan in Sorsogon, and Canlaon in Negros Island. Taal volcano has relatively quieted down since eruption back in January, but it has been showing intermittent unrest of late, with 7 volcanic eruptions recorded in the past 24 hours. Weak to moderate steam-laden plumes from formularic activity at the vents of the main crater rose 10 meters high before drifting southeast, Phivolcs said in its latest advisory. Phivolcs is maintaining alert level 1 at Taal, which means sudden stream-driven or phreatic explosions, volcanic earthquakes, minor ashfall, and lethal accumulations or expulsions of volcanic gas can occur and threaten areas within the Taal volcano island. 6 volcanic earthquakes meanwhile were recorded in Canlaon during the 24-hour observation period. It is also under alert level 1, with residents barred from entering the 4-kilometer permanent danger zone due to possibilities of sudden and hazardous stream-driven or phreatic eruptions. Mayon volcano last erupted on January 23, 2018. Tribune News on Cube will be back after these reminders.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome them.
In other news, Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. on Thursday pushed the sale of houses owned by the Social Security system instead of selling Philippine properties in Japan to raise funds for the COVID-19 response. Locsin tweeted that there are 5 empty houses in Urdaneta village owned by SSS and thus this should be sold instead of Philippine properties in Japan. He urged, though, that the SSS houses in the upscale subdivision not be sold to SSS directors or their friends. Among the other establishments which can be sold are some hospitals in the country and even the Philippine state and the state-run Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque earlier said that the government can sell real estate assets in order to keep sufficient funding for its COVID-19 programs. He said the money to be raised can augment funding the continuous implementation of the Universal Healthcare Law as it is currently deemed as an urgent matter. The Department of Transportation, meanwhile, is seeking to provide more reprieve for commuters as it appeals to the consortium that operates the automatic fare collection system in Metro Manila to have their stored value card or beep cards free of charge. DOTR Secretary Arthur Tugade noted that commuters who are still reeling from the effects of the pandemic have to shell out an additional 30 pesos to 50 pesos for the price of the card on top of the initial fare load. Tugade said they are supporting the initiative by deploying personnel to sell and load cards at every bus stop along EDSA. The cards are being sold at cost for 80 pesos, with the amount going directly to the card manufacturers and not to AF payments. DOTR has ordered the enforcement of a cashless automatic fare collection scheme on public utility buses that ply the EDSA busway route starting yesterday, October 1. Beep cards can also be used to pay fares in LRT1, LRT2, and MRT3 train lanes and some point-to-point buses, as well as modern public utility vehicles. Fare is deducted from the card by tapping it at a fare collection machine. Just a week after a teenager rode a bicycle from Metro Manila to Eastern Samar, another local resident arrived at the provincial border on foot. Roel Navidad, a 27-year-old construction worker from General MacArthur Town, arrived at the Trough checkpoint in the morning of September 29 after over a month of walking from Manila. Navidad's story went viral on social media when Vince Yadaw, a frontliner government employee who was manning the checkpoint, posted his photo on Facebook. According to Yadaw, Navidad left Metro Manila 3rd week of August and decided to just take a walk since he has no fare money to spare after losing his construction job due to the pandemic. He said that when Natividad entered Sorsogon, he was subjected to a mandatory quarantine of 14 days until he was released on September 16. Navidad resumed his hike until he reached Matnog, Sorsogon, where he took a ferry going to San Isidro, Northern Samar. From Northern Samar, Navidad hitched on a truck going to Jayabong, Samar, where he walked again until he reached Eastern Samar's checkpoint in the town of Taft. The distance from Manila to Matnog, Sorsogon is 591 kilometers, while Giabong, Samar to Trough, Eastern Samar is 81.5 kilometers. Teresita Samaro, an aunt of Navidad, said his relatives have lost contact with him, but they are happy to have him finally back. We will be back. Stay with us.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
#143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
#143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Tugade, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... Cancel ko sa Lipa. Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami mag-deliver.
Call to deliver. Call #143SM. Call to deliver. #143SM. Call to deliver. Call #143SM. #143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
In showbiz, celebrity Bela Padilla has successfully tried her hands in various pursuits, but her latest interest is something that led her to set up shop in South Korea. While she is an actor to the core, Bela is occasionally a TV host, model, screenwriter, and a film producer. Bela is also a fan of Korean dramas, which inspired her to create a brand that adopts Korean skin culture to address Filipino needs. She said she shot a film in Korea in February, during which she noticed how beautiful the skin of her South Korean co-stars are, adding their pores are hardly visible with or without makeup. Together with the makers of the iconic Korean brand Coaster X, Bela founded Britory, her skincare company headquartered in Seoul, South Korea. Britory products, which cater to different skin types and can also be used by men, according to Bela, are available for purchase on Shopee, Lazada, and other online platforms. And the southwest monsoon and the throw of a low-pressure area will affect the western sections of the country today, according to Pag-asa. Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol Region, and Northern Samar are expected to have cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms due to the throw of the LPA and the southwest monsoon. The rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated thunderstorms. Meanwhile, the extension of the LPA, situated 905 kilometers east of Basco, Batanes, brought rains in Metro Manila and neighboring provinces last night until early this morning. That wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune Digital Edition and Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Kachibu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for our wardrobe. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.
click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap. It's a wrap, just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use, mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kami natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April, at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!